All right, if you're a developer, you know the deal with databases. It can be a real headache, right? Writing all that raw SQL, juggling connections, it's a lot. Well, today, we're going to dive into how the Django framework takes all that complexity and just makes it beautiful, readable Python.
So let me just ask you, are you sick of writing those long, clunky SQL queries just to grab a little bit of data? Of trying to remember the exact syntax for a join across different database systems? Yeah? Me too. So you're in the right place. Let's check out a much cleaner way to do things.
Okay, let's just cut right to the chase. On the left, you've got your standard SQL query. I mean, it works, sure, but it feels like you're dropping a totally different language into the middle of your Python code. Now, look at the right. That's the Django ORM. It's clean, it reads like a sentence, and it is 100% Python. This right here, this one comparison, shows you the magic of what we're talking about. So, what is this magic? It's called an ORM, which stands for Object Relational Mapper. Now, I know, the name sounds a little technical, a little dry, but the idea behind it is incredibly simple. It's just a clever technique that lets us talk to our database using the language we're already fluent in our case, Python. It literally maps our Python objects directly to our database tables. It's the ultimate translator.
And why is this such a big deal? Well, the advantages are huge. First off, as we just saw, you can practically say goodbye to writing raw SQL. You also get database independence, which is amazing. It means you could switch from SQLite to Postgres, and your code would pretty much stay the same. This makes you way more productive, your code becomes a million times easier to read, and it even automatically handles all the complicated relationship stuff for you. It's a win-win-win.
Okay, so how does this actually work? Well, it all starts with what I like to call the blueprint. This is where we lay out the entire structure of our data using something called a Django model.
So, what is a Django model? At its core, it's really just a Python class. That's it. But it's a special kind of class that inherits some powers from Django itself. The most important thing to remember is this. This one Python class becomes the single source of truth for your data. Every single model you write maps directly to one table in your database.
And this right here makes it crystal clear. We've got our Python class, student. And inside, we define some attributes like name and course. And guess what? Each of these attributes directly becomes a column in our student's database table. It is a perfect one-to-one translation from Python code into database structure. And Django gives you a whole box of tools to build this blueprint. You've got char field for text, integer field for numbers, date field. You get the idea. There's even an email field that's smart enough to check if an email looks valid. But this one, foreign key, that's the real powerhouse. It's how you connect your tables together, like linking a student to the specific course they're enrolled in.
All right, so we've designed our blueprint using a model, but how do we turn that code into a real, living, breathing database table? Well, that brings us to the construction phase.
This is where the magic really kicks in. The secret ingredient is something called migrations. Migrations are Django's super smart way of looking at your Python models and figuring out how to turn them into actual database tables and columns. It's the bridge that connects your code to your database.
And it's a super simple two-step dance. First, you run make migrations. Django analyzes your models, sees what's changed, and creates a little instruction file. Then you run migrate. Django reads that instruction file and actually goes and builds the tables in your database. And that's it. Your blueprint is now a real structure.
So our database structure is built. Our house is constructed. But an empty house is kind of boring, right? It's time to actually move in and bring our data to life. And we do that using the 4 fundamental operations we call CRUD: create, read, update, and delete. These 4 actions are going to be your bread and butter. You'll be using them constantly. And the beautiful thing is, with the Django ORM, each one is just a simple, super readable line of Python code. Want to create a new record? A new student, for instance? It's this easy. You just call student.objects.create and tell it the name and course. No insert into statements, no messing with quotes, just one clean command. Reading data is just as straightforward. Need to grab every single student? That's .all. Want to find one specific student? Use .get and give it their ID. The ORM figures out the correct select query in the background, so you don't have to. And what about updating a record? It's just 3 simple steps. First, you get the object you want to change. Second, you change the attribute, just like you would with any other Python object. And third, you just call .save.
Django is smart enough to figure out exactly what changed and write the update statement for you.
And finally, deleting. Just like updating, you first grab the object you want to get rid of, and then you just call .delete on it. Poof, it's gone from the database. It's really that simple.
And honestly, we're just scratching the surface here. The Django ORM has a whole suite of powerful methods. You can .filter for records that match certain rules, .exclude ones you don't want, .count how many you have, or .order_by a specific field. Think of this table as your handy little cheat sheet for the most common tools in your new toolkit.
Okay, so we've built our structure, we know how to manage our data with code, but Django has one more incredible trick up its sleeve. And this thing, it feels like a superpower. It's the built-in admin interface. Think of it as the mission control panel for your entire application.
You heard me right. Django ships with a fully functional, secure, production-ready website for you to manage all of your data. For free, out of the box. You can use it to create, view, update, and delete anything in your database through a nice, clean web interface, and you have to do almost no work to get it.
And when I say almost no work, I mean it. Getting it running is ridiculously easy. You run one command, create superuser, to set up your login. Then you add a single line of code to a file called admin.py to tell Django you want to manage your student model. That's it. You're done. Log in and start clicking around.
But it gets even better, of course it does. You can completely customize how everything looks and works in the admin. Look at this little bit of code here. By creating this student admin class, we can tell Django exactly which fields to show in the main list, which fields we want to be able to search, and we can even add handy filters on the side, all with just a few lines of Python.
So what does that tiny bit of Python actually give us? It transforms the basic admin into a powerful data tool designed just for you. You get a clean, easy-to-read list of your students, you get a powerful search bar, and you get those super convenient filters to sort through your data. It's a massive upgrade for minimal effort.
So, let's bring it all home. The Django ORM and admin do more than just save you from writing SQL. They fundamentally change how you think about your data. Your database stops being this separate, scary thing you have to query. It becomes a collection of Python objects that you can play with, intuitively and powerfully. So the only question left is, now that you have this power, what are you going to build with it?